Welcome back and namaste. The month of May is for meditation, and if you're looking for ways to find peace during a busy day or week, meditation teacher Sarah Ezrin is joining us now to share just that. Sarah, thank you so much for joining us here again on Live in the Bay.
Thank you for having me again.
Yes.
I just love sitting with you.
Me too. I instantly feel calmer and more at peace when you join me here on the sofa, so I love that. May is meditation month. What are some things that people need to keep in mind as we're heading into this month?
Well, I think also May is mental health month, and the two of them have to be discussed together, right? Because they both feed into the next. So I think the number one thing, and we talked about this back in January too, right? Where it's like everybody wants to start a meditation practice, but then they try to sit for like even 5 minutes and they get overwhelmed. So redefining for you what you need to become embodied. And I think that's the other main thing to talk about as well, is like embodiment doesn't mean stillness and sitting, right? Earlier we were talking about like feeling your feet on the floor, and we did that last time I was here. So it's really tapping into what are the things that you do already that help you feel like you're physically in the space that you're in, and that you're fully committed and present in whatever it is that you're doing.
Yeah, I kind of learned this a little bit ago, that really if it's something that you practice, you can hone in these skills of literally, maybe it's snapping your fingers or it's tapping your leg, and it's when you feel your body kind of getting out of sorts and your stress rising, you need to have these tools that you can go to quickly kind of settle your brain, settle your mind, settle your body, and then just help you kind of acclimate to whatever stress is happening in your life and be able to get a hold of it. Is that kind of something that you teach on as well?
Well, so there's the physical movement aspect of that, right? That's like literally tapping into your nervous system. You're feeling the snap, you're feeling the tap. But something we just all experienced in the studio right now was someone singing. And that actually, if we were the ones singing, is extremely calming for our nervous system. That brings us into what's known as the ventral vagal state. So it's like even things like moving your jaw and doing like funny, face yoga, when, maybe not in public. Maybe that's the one you don't do in the Starbucks line. But things, gentle jaw massages, anything that's really moving from the shoulders up to the crown of the head is going to also be a wonderful way to tap into the parasympathetic nervous system.
Okay, I love that. All right, so let's give everyone some tangible tips. If you are, out and about, or you're having a day and you just feel yourself kind of starting to unravel, what can we do to calm our nervous system?
Yeah, and this is something you can do at Starbucks. So you can always do the face yoga at Starbucks too. I mean, it just really depends on your personality. But something we can do anytime, anywhere is breathing, where you ensure that the ratio of your exhale is longer than your inhale. Some people will say 1 to 2, meaning however long it takes you to breathe in, you double that on your exhale. I get very A-type, and it becomes the opposite of relaxing. I'm like 1, 2, 3, and then the exhale has to be perfect. So you don't have to do that. Just intend that your exhalation is always going to be longer than your inhalation. And that's something you can do anytime, anywhere, any time of day. And that's always going to be parasympathetic inducing, meaning calming for the nervous system.
Yes, I love that. Okay. Well, you actually have written a book on this and a course. So tell me a little bit about both of them.
Yeah. So The Yoga of Parenting is my book that came out. It was almost on my year for my book Baby Birthday, which is very exciting.
Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. And it's not just about parenting, it's really about relationship, because relationships, as calming as they can also be very stress inducing. So it's all of these yoga informed tips that we can apply in the day-to-day. So again, whether it's breathing tips or feeling into your body or just learning to observe more spatially, this is all within the book. And then I have a meditation course, that's the Yoga of Parenting meditation course. So it is that one specific to parents, but again, it's really just these applicable ways that we can take what used to be a 2-hour practice on a yoga mat in a sanitary room where there wasn't a lot of sound into a busy setting, like in your kitchen when your toddler's having a meltdown, or in the line for Starbucks when you're running late for work. It's like, how can we take these ancient tools into our modern day?
I love that. And so what are people going to learn in the course? Describe a little bit more in depth of what it is, and then what they're going to take away from it, or what you hope that people take away from it.
I think a lot of parents parents, and I want to speak specifically to mothers right now, is that there is this feeling of surviving, right? That everybody is just doing the best that they can to keep their head above water. And that's a different, I'll come on the show for a different time to talk about the reasons for that. But what can we do in the moment? So the meditation course is all about these little tangible tools. Not every mom is going to have an hour to take to go and work out and move their body, or even 15 minutes. But what about a 7-minute where you can even literally lock yourself in the bathroom and get grounded, so that we can shift from this survival mode, which is that stress response nervous system state, into a place of thriving, into a place of actually having more spaciousness and being able to enjoy our life, even though it's challenging at most of the time, especially, you know, in these days. It's the appreciation for all of it.
What is some feedback that you've received from students or just people who have read your book that has helped them to really just be able to tap into these moments and ease their stress?
I think the biggest feedback that I've been getting is the permission. Like, so many of, and this is one of the reasons I wrote the book, many of the parenting books that I read when I was very deeply, I had postpartum anxiety and I was completely overwhelmed, they all had these prescriptions. They were like, do this, you must say this in this exact order or you will ruin your child for the rest of your life. And so it's like, you go into these things looking for de-stressing, and yet it's causing more stress. My teachings, and it's not even my teachings, it's just like my space holding, what I try to do for everybody is just permission. It's permission to show up as you are. It's getting to know ourselves on such an individual level, because what's going to be calming for you is not going to be the same as what's calming for me. So it's that holding space for all of us to be human, that we're going to make mistakes, and that that's a beautiful thing. And what do we need as individuals? It's that coming back to a sense of self, which everybody needs, regardless if you're a parent.
Yeah, Sarah, thank you so much, as always, for joining us and sharing some of these tips. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Jess. Thank you, everybody.